So Alexander Povetkin knocks out Carlos Takam with a spectacular one-punch KO in the 10th round. This was the second spectacular knockout that Povetkin has scored since his fight with Vladimir Klitschko. His last fight was against MANUEL, where he also scored a spectacular knockout. Really knockout of the year candidates, both of these fights, the CHARR fight and this fight with Takam, knockout of the year candidates. Wicked, wicked knockouts from Povetkin. This fight was a competitive fight all the way through, actually. Up until the end, I felt the 9th round, Takam went down, and then he was obviously knocked out with a combination, a right-left combination in the 10th round. But up until maybe the 9th, it was a very competitive fight. It was nip and tuck. I thought Takam was stealing the earlier rounds. He was boxing on the back foot and using his extra reach because he had longer arms than Povetkin. Both guys were around the same height, but Takam certainly had the longer arms, and he was using that on the outside to jab and move and, you know, score from long range. And around the 4th round, he switched it up and tried to come forward and exchange on the inside a little bit more. And that's when I felt he played into Povetkin's hands, because Povetkin has the shorter arms and the more compact punches. And you never want to go inside with a guy who is a good inside fighter that has power when he's got shorter arms than you. Okay, because you unless you've got like Floyd Mayweather type defensive skills, you're gonna run into problems. You're gonna run into problems because the shorter guy with the shorter arms can get leverage on the shots at close range, where you're struggling to get leverage with your longer arms. And people are saying that Takam should have kept his arms up more, but you know, body type plays a massive part in terms of the style of a fighter. Takam, I think, having such long arms, because he does have pretty long arms for his height, they're also heavy arms. It's not like a slender arms like Floyd Mayweather has, because Mayweather has long arms, but Takam's got big, heavy, long arms. And it's difficult to keep those arms up for 12 rounds. Okay, the lactic acid builds up, very muscular, heavy, long arms. It's difficult to keep them arms up. But a guy like Povetkin, who has shorter, more compact arms, he can keep his hands up a lot better. Or, you know, a Mike Tyson, those guys with the little short, compact arms, they find it easier to keep their hands up than the guys with the big, heavy, longer arms. So I'm not really sure if Takam, you know, could have kept his arms up any more than he did, to be honest with you. So it was a nip and tuck fight through the first 7-8 rounds. Then in round 9, Povetkin scored an impressive knockdown. Takam was clearly hurt, went down in his corner. And then in the 10th round, it was the coup de grace. He put his shots together and he knocked Takam clean out. I mean, Takam wasn't completely out cold, but more or less, right? It was very, very impressive knockout from Povetkin. And in my pre-fight video, I expected the fight to go to points, but I did say that if anyone scores a knockout, it will probably be Povetkin knocking Takam out. And I felt that because I've never seen Takam knock people out clean before. Okay, he does get stoppages here and there, but I've never seen him just come in and land clean headshots that knock people over. He doesn't tend to do that. You know, he's not very proficient at landing big, heavy power shots, getting all his weight behind the shots at the right moment. So I felt, but Povetkin has been scoring them kind of knockouts throughout his career. So I felt that if anyone was going to get the KO, it was probably going to be Povetkin. People are saying Povetkin should have a rematch with Klitschko, and how would he do in a rematch with Klitschko? It could be interesting if they can get a referee in there that will stop Klitschko clinching, because the holding that Klitschko did in the first Povetkin fight was beyond excessive. It was so bad that he should have been disqualified. I've seen fighters get disqualified for much less. So, you know, it was a terrible amount of clinching. There's a video on the internet. Just go type in Vladimir Klitschko illegal tactics and go watch the breakdown of the Povetkin fight, where it goes through the whole fight and shows you all the clinching that Vladimir did. He actually did more clinching than punching in the fight. Actually true. Unbelievable. And it's leaning down on Povetkin, pushing him down, putting all his weight on him, grabbing him. It's just probably the most dirty and disgraceful performance I've seen from a heavyweight champion in my lifetime. Absolutely terrible what Vladimir did to Povetkin in that fight. Can Povetkin get a fair referee next time if they have a rematch? I doubt it, because the last fight was in Russia, and that was you know, in Povetkin's backyard. If you can't get a fair referee in his hometown, the rematch is most likely going to be in Germany. So I don't think he's got a hope in hell of getting a fair referee in there. And Vladimir is just going to come in and do the same illegal, dirty tactics that he did in the first fight. So I don't know. If they did have a fair referee, if it was in neutral ground, like in the US or somewhere like that, where they'd stop Vladimir holding, it could be interesting. It could be an interesting fight because Povetkin's definitely got knockout power there, you know, and he can certainly put pressure on and punch to the body, and he's got nice, tight, compact combinations on the inside. So it could be interesting. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you felt about Povetkin's performance. Povetkin did miss a lot in the fight. You know, I think you have to give Takam credit, especially in the earlier rounds. He was making Povetkin miss a lot from the outside, using his jab and longer arms and stuff. But as the fight wore on, Povetkin did wear him out. He started banging him to the body, and I think that set up the first knockdown. He seemed to hurt Takam with a body shot, set up the first knockdown, and then after that, he finished him off in the 10th. So you got to give credit to Takam, but Povetkin did manage to wear him down and get to him in the end. And it was an impressive performance as far as I'm concerned, because Takam, no one's ever done that to Takam. Takam's a tank. He's a physical beast, 252 pounds of solid muscle, you know. So I was impressed, and we'll see where Povetkin goes from here. Drop your comments below. Who would you like to see Povetkin in with next? Would you like to see a Klitschko rematch? Or is there other fights out there for Povetkin? A lot of people have also mentioned the possible fight between Povetkin and David Haye. I think that would be a very interesting fight. That'd be a fascinating fight. Fascinating. And I might even go for Povetkin to win that fight, especially since David Haye's been out for so long. But let me know what you think. Drop your comments below. This is Hatman. I'm out.